Hi Spanish Fork! I'm so excited to share with you one of my favorite cookies of all time, extra crunchy peanut butter cookies. Of course, I use all butter, and my twist is that it has 100% whole wheat flour. Don't worry, it's really good. Crunchy whole wheat peanut butter cookies are coming up this week on Cooking Made Easy with June, brought to you by Macy's, the happy shopping store in Spanish Fork. Well, hello everyone. I'm June, the Happy Thai Girl, and welcome to Cooking Made Easy with June. Today we're making extra crunchy peanut butter cookies. So the extra crunchy comes from, I'm gonna add some extra peanuts in it to make it crunchy. But now, of course, I've done before where I've used the extra crunchy peanut butter itself. So, but this will add a little extra texture to it. So I'm just going to put about a half a cup, not too much. It might change the recipe a little bit. Now, cookies, I love cookies, as you know, because, oops, they are so versatile and they're so easy, right? Okay, so I love my little nifty chopping Cuisinart thing. I'm just gonna put that in here. And now, I don't love a lot of gadgets, but I really have come to love this one. Like if I wanna make pesto, ground garlic, or even minced garlic. I think it's a cup. It's just a quick little, easy to clean, put together as I struggle with it. Okay, so I'm just gonna chop it. I don't want like really big pieces, so I'm just watching to see. Most of my pieces are going to be there. However, I don't want like whole peanuts in there, so I think that looks really good. Okay. So I'm just going to shake that off. Put this here. There's a few whole ones, but all right. Put this here for now. So we just start out with a mixer, and I just mix it all together. I love whipping up cookies really fast because everybody loves cookies, and I have a convection oven. I can just throw it on there. I can make cookies almost like in 15, 20 minutes, right? Okay, so peanut butter cookies, like anything else, you start out with butter. I always use butter, although I know we had snickerdoodles and we didn't use all butter, but it's still good too. But for all my cookies, I use all real butter. Every time I make cookies, I've been making cookies forever. I just remember I started baking when we were, my mom, well, you know, I'm from Thailand, right? So my mom doesn't do a lot of baking, but she, my grandmother, my American grandmother, she would make these chocolate chip cookies that are like they're really flat, but they're really like soft. And they were so good, but they were like this big. They were just spread out like that. So since then I started making cookies of my own, but I remember in junior high, I would, hold a second, let me see, 2 cups of peanut butter. Oh yeah, a cup of brown sugar. So in junior high, I was in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. We were stationed there. And maybe it was my middle school, my 7th grade, it was middle school. So when you measure the brown sugar, you want to like pack it down a little bit. You got a cup of brown sugar, 3/4 cups of white sugar. So you want to cream that up. Very classic. In fact, you always start all my cookies with sugars and then the butter. Anyways, my history class, we were always doing fundraisers to go on trips, school trips. And so we'd have a bake sale. Back then, we could just have a bake sale and we'd take it to lunch, and all those kids would, from other classes would buy our cookies during lunch. And I remember I would just make huge plates of just cookies, like sugar cookies and peanut butter cookies. And I remember this one little kid, he came and he bought the whole plate at one time. He goes, "How much is for that whole plate?" But back then, you know, the cookies we sold were like, 10 cents a piece or something like that. Oh, that really ages me, right? Okay, so you want to just scrape it a little bit so that we can mix it. And then we add some vanilla. Again, very classic. I mean, that's not a big order, wet ingredients first. So that's about 2.5 teaspoons of vanilla. And then I want to add some eggs. 2 eggs. Ah, I got a shell in there. There you go. 2 eggs. A quick scrape. And then we add the dry ingredients. And you can get really creative. Like today I'm adding some extra crunchy peanuts. But you know, you can be creative. Like you could add, for example, you could add coconut peanut butter cookies. I don't know. Chocolate chip peanut butter. We already had peanut butter chocolate chip cookies. But let's see what crunchiness. I wonder if you could try different types of nuts, like maybe hazelnuts or something like that. That's a possibility. So again, growing up, with my kids, I always loved to sneak in whole wheat flour. and I've come to find that when I add whole wheat flour to things like the rolls, I would make it half whole wheat or something, just to add some extra fiber to my children's diet. But nowadays we have so many wonderful types of whole wheat flour that's not so heavy. So we need 2.5 cups of whole wheat flour, and it does add extra texture. So I've also used like freshly ground whole wheat flour that makes it really yummy. So I don't have my half cup measurement, but I'm just gonna guess. It's approximate. You can make it doesn't have to be exact. The only time I really have to be exact is there's some certain recipes that have to be exact, but this one I won't have to be. So that's about 2.5 cups of whole wheat flour, 100% whole wheat. I'm gonna add a teaspoon of baking powder. Is that a teaspoon? Yeah. And then I need to add 1.5 teaspoon of baking soda. There's one. So some people like to put the dry ingredients in a separate bowl and then sift it. But I don't want to add another bowl. So there we go. And then what I do is I like to just kind of mix it a little bit. I think if you just put the baking soda and baking powder, those dry ingredients, right into there, sometimes it clumps up. And I think that's why we do it like that way. No, not 100% sure, but that's how I figured. And a half teaspoon of salt. Now I use salted butter. I've always used salted butter. And it just adds that extra little flavor to it too, so that's fine. Okay, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Oh my gosh, I forgot to add my peanut butter. Again, so we can go ahead and do the flour, and then we'll add the peanut butter. I'll go ahead and start adding my crunchy, my crunchy peanuts. So it's about a cup. It comes out to about maybe half a cup or 3/4 cup of the extra nuts to make it crunchy. And then I'll just slowly add my cup of peanut butter. So I discovered that if I wet my cup and take it out, it makes it a little bit less difficult. It doesn't stick as much, but it doesn't matter. Put the peanut butter into the cup, right? So anyways, peanut butter cookies. And they seem, you know what I love about peanut butter cookies? They seem to last longer in the cookie jar. And yes, I have a cookie jar. As of late, people were like just so surprised. You have a cookie jar? Do people do that anymore? I don't know. Things have changed so much. I'm beginning to feel like a really old lady when I talk about like the good old days, and when you used to hear the older people talk about their good old days. Okay, so I'm just going to put this down and add my peanut butter. And you can see that I just came out most of it pretty clean. So I'm just going to turn that on. Sometimes in a hurry, and I just made that go really, really fast. But again, you've got to scrape because there's always something on the bottom that you forget. But if you don't, it'll still be good. I mean, how can you go wrong with all these ingredients? And that's it. But now that I'm thinking about it, I go, gosh, that's such a good idea to put hazelnuts peanut butter with all these different nuts, or you can call it a nutty cookie. Anyways, I decided to make my cookies big this time, right? So, what is that? In Texas, they say, go big or go home, or is that a Texan thing? Maybe it is. Why do they claim the big stuff? I mean, look at all our cookie shops right now. They make huge cookies. I noticed that the biggest thing with us is that our servings are so much bigger than everybody else's in the world. Our cookies are huge and our portions are huge. Anyways, that's all right. So I decided to make big, like it's about a quarter cup scoop. Let's make big cookies. And if you're wondering like how your cookies can taste, you can taste the dough and it's yummy, then it's gonna be, if the dough is good, it should be good. So since they're kind of big, I'm gonna make room for it so that we could, press it down and make it look like peanut butter. I forgot, I was gonna research, why do people put crisscross on it? But now that I think about it, it's probably because peanut butter cookies, you have to press it down some, or else it just looks like a big clump, because peanut butter is so thick. So I guess that's maybe why. On top of me, I'm putting, I put whole wheat flour, so it's gonna be really thick. I'm gonna put this here for a second. Oh, well, I'll just go ahead and press it. It's on the camera. Here's my fork. So what I like to do when I press it, I like to dip my fork, but see, it's not sticking. How did I do that last time? So maybe what we'll do is we'll just sprinkle a little bit on here, on each cookie, or you can do it after. I guess you could press. And it doesn't make it stick. But maybe I press the first one and then dip it and it'll get on there. No, it didn't work. Maybe it's a certain kind of fork I usually use. Maybe that's. Get it on the edge. I think that's why I'm going to put a little bit of sugar on it. Add a little extra texture, a little more dimension to it, okay? So there's that. Sometimes I make big cookies too because I don't want to do the little cookies, like too many scoops, or I'm in a hurry and say, we're going to have big cookies today. 3. So we'll do. So with my convection, I could put 3 trays at a time. So I'm going to go ahead and make 3 trays right now. Okay, 1. Oh, I forgot to sprinkle. I'll sprinkle it in a minute. Oh my gosh. Peanut butter cookies. You could do so many things with this. Peanut butter cookies with a glass of milk. As for me, I like almond milk. We'll talk more about that. Wonder if you could make different shapes. Maybe you could arrange it. Something. Okay. There's 2. Well, let's do 1 more. While I'm doing this, I wanted to ask you guys, I have like most of the time I find guests like from like friends or acquaintances, or somebody say, oh, so-and-so would come, and but I would love for you guys to just like message me on my Instagram, although I don't go very often to my Instagram until I finish school, my school year, but you can go to message me, or you can go, I know that Spanish Fork 17 has like a Facebook, and you could message there. I would love to have any of you to come on my show, and then you can really taste. But I would, because the premise is, I really would love to have more recipes, like family recipes. You know what I mean? It looks like this 1 batch is enough to make huge. Let me see how many. 3 times. bit bigger. Looks like it makes exactly, well, one's a little smaller. Let me scrape this up. People forget to scrape, you know, and you guys have got to use a spatula. There's so much batter, cake batter, cookie batter wasted on the sides if you don't like use your spatula and scrape. I mean, look at how much that is. It's almost like a half a cookie of a big cookie. Look at that. Okay, so it looks like we make exactly 1, 2, 3 times 6 is 18. My math teacher ideas, mind, makes 18 huge cookies. Yeah, this is sticking, so I'm gonna put this in. So anyways, we would love to have you guys come on. I need to see some more family recipes. Because to me, family recipes, you've made it a million times and everybody loves it, right? So, or if you have a new recipe, even though it's not your recipe, it's okay too. So I want you guys to come and, because you know, it always comes out different when you're making it, I think. I mean, like, to actually see you make it. Sometimes you see a recipe, I said, you wonder if it's good, and then you make it, it's not as good as you think. So, okay, so message so we can get you guys on the show with me. Okay, so we got 3 trays, and we're gonna put this in the oven at 375 for 9 to 12 minutes. So, all right. Here are the cookies. Look at, they look so scrumptious. I don't know what the new word for yummy is anymore. The kids, I teach at junior high. They always come up with these new things, new words. Okay. Ooh, they're big. Yes, that's what I made them for, right? Whoops. Okay, so let me move them a little bit here. So I'm going to let it sit for just a second. So I wasn't sure exactly, it depends on the oven. So your oven, they're all so different. I know, it's kind of annoying, but it's approximate, and you kind of have to watch. And some people prefer the cookies to be more like, like more crunchy. My husband always, I think I burnt them, but he likes them a little bit burnt or crunchier. So it's just really up to you. So I do like to use a cookie rack for anything because I just like it to, it just seems to cool more evenly, and it just, anyways, I just love the cookie rack. These beautiful cookies. So you have to be careful. You notice I have a bigger spatula to get the whole cookie out. Otherwise, put this back here for now. And then I'll put some more in there. Oh, you guys, this looks so good. I just get little whims, and right before the show, I thought, I'm gonna make them big. So my mind runs all the time, and I always thought, oh, I'm gonna open a little cookie shop. I'm gonna call it cookies and, what do I call it? Cookies and cream, and have all kinds of milk. You know, the dispensers will have like chocolate milk, regular milk, almond milk. Look at this. We can go ahead and fill it all up. Now, of course, I am not gonna eat. I guess I could eat a whole cookie if I hadn't had dinner. Oh gosh, oops. Okay, let's see, what should I taste? Oh, let me get my almond milk. I am an almond milk girl. I like almond milk, and I'm a little lactose intolerant, so I'm just get a little bit of almond milk. Okay, so we're going to display the cookies. So this is just for the show purpose. I'm just gonna put a couple big ones right here. Let's see, right there, still warm. With that, put some milk and glass, and I'll just break this one a little bit to get, I do like them a little crunchy, but they're not really, they're hot, so they're like this right now. My favorite part, the crunchy. I know I made it. I have to say it's good. I don't have to say it's good. This is really good. I've got a little bit of peanut crunch in there. And you know, another thing I love about peanut butter is that it's not as sweet as some other ones, but you add all that chocolate chips and all that. So, oh, I forgot to say that I use a peanut butter that has, you know, like it's the Jif brand where it's sweetened and everything. You know, they add sugar and all that, and so they make this peanut butter. But if you get one that's no sugar, so your cookies are gonna taste a little different. So it does depend on what type of peanut butter you use. So kind of think about that. And if you use an all natural that has no added sugar, if you don't mind your cookie to be not as sweet, then that's okay too. Then you can add, or you can add more brown sugar and it will still be good. Okay, so. Oh, good. All right, you guys, go to Macy's, get all the ingredients, and then bake it. You can even open your own little cookie shop. Look at how beautiful they are. So until next time, happy baking.